Welcome to Reiki Banashi, a podcast where we talk about Reiki in a simple and approachable way. I'm your host Innina, practitioner and teacher Shihan of Jikiden Reiki, and through this space I share thoughts and reflections with you. Today I have the great pleasure of welcoming Sara Johnson. Sara is a Jikiden Reiki Shihan. She practices, offers treatments and teaches in Leicestershire in the UK. And she is also a Yoga Nidra teacher, which we will also talk about together. So I can't wait to share this conversation with you. Make yourself comfortable and let's get started. All right, konnichiwa. Hi, Sara. Yokoso. Welcome to Reiki Banashi. I'm very happy to have you with us today. And how are you? O genki desu ka in Japanese?
Hi, well, I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I feel really honored that you've asked me to chat with you. And I'm good, thanks. I'm really well. Yeah, really good.
So, Sarah, we've met for the first time. We were saying that before this summer in June. So it's about 6 months ago-ish in Eresos, Greece. It was at Arjava, Frank Arjava Petr's dojo for his last Jikiden Reiki seminar, which was such a deep, heartwarming experience. And yeah, it was so beautiful to be there together. And yeah, I was really delighted to share this experience with you and with all the beautiful people that were there with us.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I had the feeling to know you from before as we're following each other on social media.
I know. You feel like you know someone so well, don't you, having never met them before?
Exactly. That's the magic of social media, the good side of
Yeah.
social media, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
a special time, such a special week, and it was lovely to get you to meet you on that.
yeah, it was wonderful.
Really special 2 weeks.
Mm. And so, as I mentioned in the pre-recorded introduction, you're a Jikiden Reiki Shihan teacher and also a Yoga Nidra teacher, right?
Yeah,
We
yes.
will we will come back to that later. And so you practice, you give treatments and teach in, you said that before to me, and of course I don't remember. Can you
Leicestershire.
Leicestershire, that's right. Leicestershire, you said in the
East
which
Midlands of the UK. Yeah.
exactly. I'm terrible because I butcher all the time the beautiful English names and then and then I
Fine,
prefer
don't worry.
I
Don't worry,
prefer
it's
to
all
let
good.
you say that. Okay, so you practice in the UK.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would love first of all to go back in time and start with your Reiki journey if you would like to share that with us. And how did you first come across this practice and what drew you into it?
Yeah, such a good question to start with. It's really nice actually to do as an individual, just to reflect back actually and to understand like all the different paths and the crossovers and the connections. So I've loved looking back at this, ready for today.
Mm.
But my journey with Reiki really started in my early 20s. And I had a friend who was training in Reiki, westernized Reiki at the time, and she wanted to practice on me. So I received the treatment from her. It was very relaxed. I think she was just trying. She wanted to see if I could feel anything, and she was practicing her hand placements as well. And
Mm.
so that was my very first experience with Reiki at the time. It was only something very small, like a short treatment with her. And then through my 20s, I was really drawn to receiving Reiki at different well-being events in my local area. And I'd go for sporadic treatments from time to time. It wasn't something I was always having, but I'd have sporadic treatments of Reiki. And I just really enjoyed that sense of peace and calm that the Reiki instilled within me.
Mm.
And that's my very first experience of it through westernized Reiki treatments. And it wasn't until my early mid 30s where it really came back into my life.
Mm.
Um, it was a gift really coming back at the time that it did, because I was diagnosed with a severe form of psoriatic arthritis in my early 30s.
Oh,
So the psoriatic arthritis is like an or is an autoimmune condition.
right. Yeah.
And I had this condition diagnosed
Mm,
um, after having quite a long period of pain in my body. So
mm,
joint problems, muscular soft tissue problems. But I played a lot of sport when I was younger.
right.
So we always thought it was there were sport related injuries. And so I used to
Mm,
see like chiropractors, physiotherapists. These were all my people like
mm,
supporting me through my sport. And the diagnosis of arthritis is obviously a huge shock.
mm,
But the reason I believe now, when I look back and reflect back on it, is I had a really traumatic occasion that
mm.
then created this huge level of inflammation in my body. It kind of
Oh,
exploded. And
okay.
that occasion, if it's probably helpful to share for people, but there could be a trigger point here for some people.
Sure, sure.
Is I found out I was pregnant the same day that I miscarried, and so I had a miscarriage
Mm,
without realizing I was pregnant. So I would have been about 12 weeks pregnant, I think, at the
mm.
time, having not known that I was pregnant. So it was obviously
Oh,
it was a devastating time, really traumatic to go through.
mm,
And as I said, I had some joint problems before, but probably within a month of having the miscarriage, my body just exploded with inflammation, and this issue was all over my body,
mm,
from I don't know, all in my sacrum, in my spine, my hips, my knees, my ankles, my feet, my
oh,
elbows. And so my body was really swollen, very inflamed. I couldn't move. I was in a huge amount of pain.
mm.
My eldest daughter was only about a year old, I think, a year and a half old. So I couldn't pick her up,
Oh,
play with her. I couldn't cut my food up on my plate. I couldn't wash my hair because I couldn't lift my arms up. So it was a really tricky time, and to be
mm,
only in your early 30s and experiencing that level of pain and not being able to move for someone that's played a lot of sport and always been very fit was quite
mm.
a challenge for me at that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was actually because the doctors at the time couldn't really work out what was going on for me. And so I went down to see my physio, who was a Great Britain athletics physio, and I've been seeing him for a while. So I knew him and I trusted him, had a really good relationship. And I remember hobbling into his office. He was about 45 minutes drive from me.
Mm,
And he said, Sarah, I can't treat you. There's no way that I can treat you. I can see that there's an autoimmune response going on in your body here,
mm,
and you need to be seen by a rheumatologist and etc. And this obviously came as a huge shock to me. I knew that something was going on, like the whole body system, but
mm,
actually for someone to say that to you, having seen lots of health professionals before, it was a real shock. But that then started my journey really in towards looking how to support myself through this journey of having this chronic pain.
mm.
And I couldn't see at that beginning stage, physios, chiropractors, or osteopaths, those type of body workers were always people that I would rely on to support me to mend my body, if you like, and to help
Sure.
the body
Mm,
heal. But because of the level of inflammation, it just wasn't possible for me to have that kind of treatment at that time. I eventually did move back to having some osteopathy, and I think I tried acupuncture too, because you're
mm.
so desperate when you're in this level of health crisis, I guess.
Of course.
You want to try as much as you can to help. But this is when Reiki came back to me
Mm,
after going through all of this and experiencing all of these issues with my physical body, and then receiving the diagnosis of psoriatic arthritis. I had this like epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, because I can't receive this physical manipulation and this soft tissue work
Mm.
anymore to help my physical body, the best thing for me is Reiki. Why didn't I think of this before?
Mm.
To have that gentle hands-on touch where there's no manipulation, there's no pressure. No, that's not going to hurt my body at all. It's going to
Exactly.
give me energy. It's going to help me move through this physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I didn't know a huge amount about Reiki at this point. I'd received some treatments, but I hadn't learnt it at all. I didn't really understand it either.
Mm.
So that, yeah, that epiphany literally
Mm.
led me to researching online and Googling for, I think I was looking for original Japanese Reiki at the time as
Oh.
I was Googling. And Amanda's name came up, Amanda Jane
Mm.
came up, and I was reading through her website and I thought, this sounds amazing. Amanda sounds incredible. And we
Mm.
had a conversation, I think, just via email, and not a huge amount, I remember. And I just thought, I remember thinking, this is it. This is who I need to train with.
Mm.
And I need to travel. Amanda's 5.5 hours away from me.
Oh.
It's a pretty long journey. She's all the
It's
way down
far.
in Cornwall, and I'm in the middle of the UK. So I remember thinking, I can't remember the time difference, but I booked on her course down in Cornwall,
Mm.
and I think that was in the May of 2015.
Mm.
And I've never looked back. So I did my Shodan and Okuden together, and it was just the most amazing experience. It was just so my mind just blew in terms of the opportunity that was available through Reiki for me. So when I first signed up, it was
Mm.
really for my health and for my well-being because I was struggling so much with the arthritis at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, since then, I mean, that's 10 years ago now, and so much has happened since then. So much has shifted. I would lay my hands on my body, any part that hurt, all the time. So I was just
Mm.
walking around with my hands on me, um, with multiple areas that were hurting.
Yeah.
But I believe it really helped me, come home to myself and to understand where things weren't aligned in my life too.
Mm.
Um, and I left my long-term job. I got voluntary redundancy from that. Things weren't really aligning there for me.
Mm.
I looked at shifting my whole diet and nutrition, my lifestyle, my sleep, that my stress. I was working with people introducing me to meditation. I was always somebody that was like, meditation's not for me. I wouldn't do meditation, don't think you'll be signing me up to that. And yet there I was being introduced to all these amazing practices and techniques that really helped me come inwards because I'd never
Mm.
had that before. And there
Oh.
was just so much like emotion, repressed feelings, experiences that were obviously being held so
Mm.
tightly in my body
Mm.
from, lifetime and pre-lifetimes probably.
Yeah.
We know that through Reiki. And so it was really powerful for me to be able to explore that with people
Mm.
of yeah through Amanda and then through different meditation teachers, for example. And
Mm.
that's how I got into yoga nidra as well. So
Ah.
that's how that started because my sister's a yoga teacher and she
Mm.
recommended I try yoga nidra because again, like Reiki, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Just lie down and you listen and you receive. And I know we'll talk about that maybe a bit later.
Yeah. 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 Sure. For sure.
Healing,
D-
um, those techniques and practices were just so incredibly supportive of for
Mm.
me at that time, and just really helping my body to be in the right environment to heal as well.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about myself through that whole process. And
And
then
did you feel like a change inside your body with all that, like this? Hello,
oh no,
I want him to. It's a
she's,
him or.
she's trying to drink my tea.
Oh, there you go. Mm.
Yeah, did I feel a change in my body?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a softening. So the first time I
Mm.
was putting my hands on any of the areas that hurt, it's just like receiving a great big gentle hug, and then it just
Yeah.
softened because there was so much pain in the body. When you
Yeah.
experience that much pain, you're so tight and you're so tense.
Tensed. Mm.
And there's just a real softening and everything just like, oh, it's okay. It's
Mm.
okay. So learning to relax my body was a huge part of the Reiki process, actually. Relax the mind, relax the body. It had such a profound effect on my mental and emotional well-being as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I found myself, um, I guess, I think it was about 7 years after I was initially diagnosed.
Mm.
Um, my consultant said, you're in remission. It's gone. This is really unusual.
Oh, wow. So completely
Like, completely.
gone.
I have no arthritis now.
This is
I mean,
incredible. And
yeah,
all that without having chemical treatments, or
I did at the beginning. I did at the
of
start.
course. Yeah.
They wanted, so I didn't go on. They wanted to put me on like a chemotherapy drug to start
Hmm.
with, and that
Very
was the
strong.
first,
Yeah.
very strong drugs to reduce the inflammation
Pain. Yeah.
in the body. And I
Mm.
didn't want to go down that route because I was worried that the impact it would have on my body. But yeah, for whatever reason, I didn't go down that route anyway. But I did take
Mm.
some medicine,
Hmm.
so the
Sure.
next level down, if you like.
Mm.
But then I had to come off that um, with my second pregnancy. There was an issue, and I had to come off the medicine at the time. And
Mm.
so I was probably only on it for a year or so, I think.
Mm.
That kind of took the edge off, I guess, the level of pain. So it was always still there, but I was always, I've been doing the Reiki,
Mm.
the yoga nidra meditation, and then looking at my lifestyle. So a lot around nutrition, sleep, rest,
Mm.
stress relief was huge as well. And I
Yeah.
think all of that encompass, the Reiki really helped me align what I needed to bring in to help my
Mm.
body to heal. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm in this place now. I'm mid to late 40s, and I feel healthier now than I did in my 30s. My 30s
Mm.
at the time of such happiness because I got married, I had children, which is amazing. But on the flip side of that, it was probably the most challenging decade that I've ever had so
Mm.
far because of the level of pain and health issues I was working through.
Mm.
But I was adamant that, I was born into this world perfect, whole, and complete.
Mm.
And for me, I just thought there's a reason why my body feels out of alignment, why this issue has come up.
Right.
And so for me to find a way to bring my body back into balance and
Mm.
realign it so that it would work in the way that it's meant to and function the way it's meant to. And
Mm.
I had this just complete trust that things would change. I didn't know when and I didn't know how
Wow,
almost.
this is
I just
wonderful.
trusted that things would change, and
Mm.
they did. And it took a
Mm.
while, it took years, but
Yeah.
um, when you imagine how long it takes for your body to get to that level of illness, it will
Mm.
take a while to come back.
Of course.
It did.
Of course. Wow, that's very, yeah, I wouldn't have imagined all that actually. I
No.
knew about it when I read on a little bit on your website, but of course, meeting you in Greece, you were the one like at 6 a.m. you were
I know.
going for a walk, and yeah, I thought, oh, this girl is very active, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, this woman is amazing, going for swims and stuff. So I never thought you had such a. I knew you had some kind of obstacles, let's say, on the way, but I didn't think it was that severe in the beginning. So wow, this is really such a healing journey, right?
Such a healing journey. It really is. And I think, at one stage I was on crutches because I couldn't walk. And I remember
Oh,
trying to walk the children to school on crutches.
mm,
And I just think back at how far I've come in that 10-year period.
mm.
That's more than that now. It's 15 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is incredible how things change and evolve and how the body responds when
Mm,
you give it the right environment to heal in.
yeah,
And I believe Reiki does that for you.
yeah.
Reiki provides that amazing environment for your body to start working properly and healing
Mm.
itself.
And as you said, it's very natural. It's almost like something that goes organically, right? It's not like a dramatic change that could shock all your system so much that you would have to, like it's very, maybe that's why the process can seem slow for some people. But actually, this is the way that it's even better long term, probably, right?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I think I think to come back, it needs to be slow, doesn't it? The
Mm.
body needs to time to readjust and shift and change
Yeah,
because, like you say, it could be a huge shock to the system, to the
yeah,
body, to make
yeah.
those changes really fast. And yeah, I think just having gone through that and experienced that, I can really understand and appreciate the benefit of moving it in just the right time for you,
Mm.
in just the
Yeah,
right moment.
yeah.
Um, Yeah,
Wonderful.
it makes me think actually, and Ajava said this, our teacher Ajava said this
Uh-huh.
many times, but in terms of my journey with Reiki, when I was first receiving that treatment from my friend in my 20s, and you may remember Ajava says your soul is tickled by Reiki. And when you first receive it, your soul is tickled, and it comes back to
Yeah,
you. If the Reiki finds a way to come back into your life when you need it, and when I needed it most, when I was
that's good.
diagnosed with this arthritis, it came
Mm.
back into my life in a way that I wouldn't have even have imagined.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really truly believe that my soul was touched by this Reiki in my early
Mm.
20s and that it's found its way back to
Mm.
me to help me come back to
That's
myself
great.
and find some way to recover from that. So,
Wonderful.
mm.
Wonderful. So, yeah, I guess, of course, all these moments had a profound impact with Reiki. But do you have a specific moment that you felt like, okay, this is where it really had the most impact, either personally or spiritually also in
Yeah,
in the journey?
I think for me, I mean, the whole process of learning for me has been profound, to be honest. It's
Mm,
really opened my eyes, and the connection I have with myself now is so much deeper than
mm.
when I was younger. I felt like my eyes were closed. I just was walking around with my eyes shut without being aware or conscious at all. And I feel much more connected now. So it's really
Mm.
hard to pinpoint an
Yeah.
exact time for me throughout my whole healing journey because it was so gradual as well.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um, so yeah, that's probably harder for me in my own personal journey. But there are moments, I've had many profound moments, when I'm working with different people,
Yeah.
different clients. There was one moment in particular where I was doing a Seiheki treatment,
Mm,
Seiheki Jirio, and a lady that I've been working with, been doing so many physical treatments together, working to support her with her hysterectomy. And we then decided to move into Seiheki Jirio
mm,
after a number of physical treatments working on this particular issue. And I can't remember the exact issue, that's not important, but we chose the issue we were working with for Seiheki Jirio.
mm.
And it was one of the first times actually I did this treatment on a client. So I've been working
Oh,
on myself
right.
and obviously held deep trust in the practice, but there was a really profound healing moment throughout that treatment. And it just highlighted the connection, the mind body connection for me. And it had already kind of been playing out with my own personal healing.
Mm.
But to see that in somebody else is just like, wow, wow.
Yeah.
And as we were doing the treatment together, I just really held this profound trust that all was good and it's all going to be correct and right for her and just as
Mm.
it is meant to be. And her spine was adjusting and her neck was moving, and she hadn't told me of anything really in the pre-conversation, if you like, of
Mm.
any other issues going on physically for her. But as her spine was correcting, I guess, and her neck adjusting, her head was moving a little bit in through the Seiheki Chiryo. Anyway, we had a conversation at the end of the treatment, and she said, Sarah, I can't believe this. I've not been able to turn my neck since, like, I think she had a horse riding accident when she was in her early teens.
Ah,
She hadn't been able to turn her neck to the left at all. She'd seen chiropractors and all sorts of health professionals. And yet, after one Seiheki Chiryo, she was able to turn her head to the left hand side. And
wow.
working on the emotional, mental well-being of obviously of her. And so to see the physical change that this had
Mm,
for her was just incredible.
mm,
And we continued with the same issue for a number of times.
mm,
We had weekly appointments with each other. And each time she'd report back that she could turn her head a little bit more, a little bit more. And then by the end of the treatments, I think we did 6 in total, she was able to fully turn her head all the way to the left and to the right, having
This
not
is
moved it for maybe 20 plus years
this is
without pain.
incredible.
I know. I know. So this was insane. This is one of my first Seiheki Chiryo treatments, as I
Mm,
said. And it was just so incredible and amazing to witness that and to watch as the physical body is supported through this mental emotional treatment. So
mm,
that was really profound for me, and it
yeah.
just really helped me understand even more that close connection, that mind body, where it's so intertwined, and
Mm,
we just don't know what the body's holding,
yeah.
from the whole experience of life.
And it's wonderful how she didn't even mention that to you. And it's
I
like
know.
the body and the soul knew by
New.
itself how to heal itself thanks to the energy going through, now the Reiki going through, right? That this is
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. They were having this conversation together, and there's
mm,
nothing to do with me, is it, at all? It's just
mm,
acting as the conduit for that
mm,
energy, beautiful energy exchange to take place. And
yeah.
it was really, really profound moment.
Yeah, and it's such an honor to be able to witness that. No, even if we're just channeling, just present, being humble, channels. But it's such a joy to see, yeah, everything working so
It,
deeply and profoundly for people.
it, yeah, it really is. It really is.
Mm,
It just feel very honored to be able to share this with people.
mm,
Really do.
wonderful. And oh yeah, so you mentioned before that you're a mother also, right? Like,
Yes.
so you're a mother of, you said
Three.
three.
I
Lots of work.
know, I know. My craziness. Yeah, I've got
You have,
three.
well, you have a beautiful, beautiful family. And so how old are they now?
So my eldest is 14, almost 15, and then my son's 11, and then my youngest daughter is 7. So
Ah,
it's about 3.5 years
of,
between each of
yeah,
them. But
beautiful.
they've each had me at different stages in my life,
Aha,
as a mum, but so my eldest would have experienced the early stages of motherhood when I was going through the whole health crisis of the
right.
arthritis, and I wasn't yet trained in Reiki, so
Mm,
I was doing all sorts of things, but she was there through that, and she was there to witness my first
mm,
experimental goes with Reiki. I'd use it on her, and
mm.
she was about 4 at the time, and I just loved when I first used it. She was like, "I can feel it, mummy, and
Oh,
I can see sparkles coming out from your hand." It was just gorgeous.
oh, that's so
So that was
lovely.
really special. And then my
Yeah.
son was only 9 months when I learnt Reiki with Amanda. And so he's pretty much had it nearly all of his life, but he'd
Mm.
had such a tricky start with so many ear infections and antibiotics as well. He
Oh.
had a lot of antibiotics for
Mm,
various things when he was a baby.
mm,
Um, but I found that, especially with Sophie, my youngest, I, she's hardly had any antibiotics at
mm,
all, maybe once for something really quite severe. And when an infection, I think, went into her joints and she couldn't move, so we had to go down that route. Obviously, Western
mm,
medicine plays a huge role. But if I can support them at home with any
Right.
minor ailments or issues, then I will with the Reiki. And so we use it all the time.
That was my what about I was about to ask you because
Yeah.
so many people are like, "Oh, how does it work?" I think a lot of people have kind of an image that Reiki has to be done on a massage table, and so maybe can you say like can you tell us a bit like how do you use it with your
Oh,
children?
yeah. I mean, when they were very little, with babies in the cot, I'd often just be sat at the side of the cot. If I'm not,
Mm.
at bedtime was a good time to use it.
Yeah,
Always when I'm holding them, they'd always naturally get the Reiki there. But
of
especially if I
course.
put them to bed, I'd put my hand through the cot and I'd rest my hand on their tummy and their head, and they'd fall asleep with me giving them Reiki. And that's when they were very tiny. Still now, I'll go and lie in bed with them and give them Reiki at bedtime. They find it really lovely to fall asleep to,
Mm.
if they're not distracted by talking to me, that is.
Mm.
But I often joke with some of my clients that with children, it's Reiki by stealth sometimes
Yeah.
because they're moving all the time, wanting to do things.
Yeah.
So if they're sat down reading a book, or if they're sat and they happen to be watching some television, I'll often sit with them, behind them,
Mm.
next to them, have my hands resting on their head or on their back or their tummy. So tummy and head are usually the big areas which I focus on. I know Chiyoko Sensei always recommended giving, Reiki to children's tummies to help their immune systems to get stronger.
Mm.
And so we've used that a lot. And then often my children play a lot of sports, and surprisingly, maybe. So there's many sports injuries that come, from knocks, bruises,
Mm.
cuts as well. So I'm using Reiki often on the side of a pitch, a hockey pitch or a football pitch. And I think all the other parents are looking at me thinking, what is she doing? I'm like the resident first aider. Would anybody like some Reiki?
Wonderful.
So they get
Oh,
it. They get it in lots of different ways, but it's often just around the home,
mm.
and sitting down when they're doing things, and I will give them some Reiki. But they do come down to my studio, and I say sometimes, if you'd like to have a full treatment today, do you want to come and have a lie down?
Yeah.
And they'll lie on my bed then. But you absolutely don't need a couch. It's just
Mm.
as and when. I was even on a beach in the summer. We were down in Cornwall, and my youngest daughter jumped off a huge rock,
Ooh.
and she landed funny. And she's a bit
Oh,
of an adventurer, but she landed funny on her ankle, and she was worried she'd really hurt it. It was quite painful for her. So we were sat on the rocks, and I just, cut my hand around her ankle as she's having her lunch, even like a picnic.
mm.
And so we just find all the ways to be able to give Reiki. It's not anything difficult because your hands are always there, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you have your hands, then
Yeah. And
that's enough.
yeah, and
Yeah, I guess a lot of people have the idea that Reiki has to be done in a certain way, but that it can be way more simple than what we
and
think,
that's
right?
it. And that's what I love about Jikiden Reiki is it's so simple because you
Mm,
just put your hands on and away you go. And it
that's
doesn't
it.
matter where you are. I
Mm,
think people, like you say, think you have to be in this really peaceful, calm state, maybe
mm,
with candles burning, some
exactly. The
some
perfect
relaxing
space, the
music. Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. And often when we're in our daily life, that space doesn't come available to us, does it?
No.
Right when we need it. And so
Mm,
just to be able to have your hands on yourself or on your children or your family members as
mm,
and when, it's so easy to do. And I think we often forget that, we like to make things more complex, don't we, in our lives?
exactly.
And it just
Exactly.
needs to be simple.
Yeah, yeah, and that actually kind of leads me to the next question, because sometimes I'm curious about that as I come across the topic quite often, getting questions from people, what are some of the most common misconceptions you've encountered about Reiki, and how do you usually respond to it
Yeah.
or clarify them?
Yeah, I guess So that could be one of them that we are just
Mm,
talking about, that you have to have the right space and the couch, and it needs to be peaceful and relaxing. So that's one. I guess another common misconception is that you have to believe in it for it to be
mm,
effective. And people are often, clients as well, are saying, they'd love family members to come for Reiki, but they don't believe in it, or they don't
yeah.
understand that how it works.
Mm,
And so just explaining that, Reiki's energy will flow regardless of whether your belief system, and you don't have to be relaxed or in an open state of mind, I guess, to have and to enhance this experience with the Reiki. It's not a
mm,
prerequisite. It's just something that flows through all of us. So, and
yeah.
it will promote relaxation as you receive it.
Mm.
So there's many skeptics out there, aren't there? And I have come across a few actually, and I have the same response. It's an invitation to come and receive Reiki, because once you see it, as Usui Sensei says, once you see it, it's hard to not believe it. And so I invite them to come for a Reiki treatment and experience it firsthand.
Mm,
And I often see that once they've experienced that, then their their opinion changes. And
mm,
that's really lovely to see and,
yeah.
and watch and witness and be present with. So yeah, it's very eye-opening, I think. My dad
Mm.
was probably one of the skeptics actually when I started
Oh,
doing it.
really?
Yeah. And he's received a little Reiki from me, not a huge amount. My mum receives a lot, but my dad not so much. But he's definitely opened and seen how much it's helped me anyway.
Yeah,
Can't deny that because they've
yeah.
seen me, at my worst with my health. So yeah.
Mm.
But I have given it to him a few times, and it's been really interesting watching his reaction.
So how was his reaction?
Yeah, I think, well, one time I was giving him Reiki, he had a cut on his hand. He's a
Mm.
farmer, and he had
Uh-huh.
a really bad cut on his hand from doing some work outside, I think. And I said, let me
Mm.
just do some Reiki. We were out for dinner. And so I was just holding my hand over his. And he was just looking at me saying, well, that's really tingling, Sarah. That's really
Oh.
tingling. Why is it tingling so much? It's actually a little bit painful. Not too, I can manage it, but that feels really weird. And it's just like a constant monologue of what was feeling as I was just holding his hand for about 15 minutes, maybe. But it was really interesting that he could feel
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was quite probably sensitive already too.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, he just doesn't realize it.
As long as it works, as you said, like you don't
Yeah,
really need to
you
like
don't really
being
need
in a
to.
belief system to, to
No.
be able to receive it. Yeah, that's an important point. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's a waste if the person doesn't believe in it. Let's not do it.
Mm.
And actually that's not the case, right?
No, no.
Mm, mm.
I guess the challenge would be to actually get them to try it, though, wouldn't it? If they don't believe in it, then how would you get them through the door to try it? But yeah, the invitation is always there for people to come and try.
Exactly. Wonderful. Right. So I'd love now to talk about what you said before. You do also yoga nidra.
Mm.
So maybe first, for those who are not familiar with it, like could you briefly explain with easy words maybe
Yeah.
how this practice involves yeah, healing and how does it work? What's the process in yoga
What's the
nidra?
process?
Mm.
Oh, well, it's just such a lovely practice and
Practice.
state
Yeah.
of being. I guess when we talk about yoga nidra, it's this naturally arising state of being,
Mm.
which can be known as peace beyond words. I love that, peace beyond words. You
Oh.
just feel like this real deep sense of peacefulness in the body. It's a rest-based meditation that leads you into this profound state of rest and relaxation. And we're kind of meditating on the moment when you fall asleep. So it's that
Mm.
drowsy boundary place between sleep and wakefulness.
Mm.
And it's really dreamy space where the thinking mind fades away and emotions kind of evaporate and
Mm.
your awareness really heightens. and it becomes quite a powerful place to reside in. And it's so relaxing. I can't without yeah, it's just so incredibly relaxing.
It is.
But it's often called the sleep of the yogi or
Mm.
the yogic sleep, if you like. And it's like a paradox because the sleep of the yogi is actually like an awakened state, an
Mm.
awakened place, awakened sleep, if you like, where our awareness is really alive. So we're resting in the physical body, and yet the mind is alive and aware.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So we practice it usually lying down, and
Hmm.
you have all of your props like blankets,
Mm.
pillows, cushions to make you super comfortable.
Oh.
And you're listening to the words of a facilitator, guide, teacher, and you're listening to gentle instructions, if you like, or suggestions, invitations, if you like.
Hmm.
And these invitations are taking you through many different activities for the mind, if you like. So, yoga
Mm.
for the mind, maybe. So,
Mm.
you're moving through things like breath awareness, a body rotation. We come to work with opposites, like, for example, hot or cold,
Mm.
happy or sad. Yeah, all the opposite work because life is we're full of opposites in life. Life's
Yeah.
polarity. So we have those experiences. We can be happy and sad at the same time. So we're exploring
Mm.
that in the practice of yoga nidra to help build our resilience. Um, but yeah, so you're listening to this outer voice, but also you're listening to your inner voice as
Mm.
well. And it's in this place of deep rest where we begin to access our intuitive self. So the words of our soul, I guess, um, messages from whispers from our soul. It's just so
Mm.
beautiful because we don't access that place very much during our like busy day, do we?
Mm.
We're constantly doing. And I guess in terms of the science side of things for yoga nidra,
Mm.
moving our brain waves from a beta brainwave state, from being constantly doing,
Mm.
planning, actioning, to a more dreamlike state. We're moving through alpha, theta,
Mm.
delta, so the deep sleep brainwaves where your brain really begins to slow down and it's powering down so much that you might access a space of nothingness, even if it's just
Mm.
for a millisecond. This space of nothingness is like pure peace,
Mm.
and it's just bliss. And I
Wonderful.
just with the practice of yoga nidra, like the physical body becomes so incredibly relaxed,
Mm.
and once the physical body becomes so relaxed, we're then opening the door to the mental and the emotional body and through to the soul work as well. So it's very similar in terms of Reiki. We're working with the physical, the mental, the emotional body,
Right.
and peeling back the layers,
Yeah.
peeling back these layers. We're like an onion. We're peeling back these layers to reveal our true selves,
Mm.
not what we thought we should be or who we thought we should be or what people have told us we should be. It's
Yeah.
who we really are deep within. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very powerful practice.
Mm.
But it's so incredibly easy to do because you just lie down and you listen. And a practice could be 15 or 20 minutes long, or they could be longer,
Mm.
45 minutes. But the, there's just so many benefits to it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, and I actually was lucky to experience that even though it was not in person. I guess
No.
you provide that in person
Yes.
for groups or probably for individual sessions. I don't know how
Yeah,
it works.
the group sessions at the moment, I
All
have
right.
done individual in the past, and I'm always open to exploring one-to-one sessions with people for yoga nidra.
Mm.
Um, and I've worked with many people and supporting them through many different health issues, whether
Mm.
that be the physical body or mental, emotional things going on, um, because it is helping our body to drop down into that healing place where the nervous system just
Yeah.
pauses, and we're moving into the rest and digest phase rather than the fight or flight.
Mm.
And we spend way too much time doing, don't we,
Exactly.
in our days? Everybody does. We're just moving from one thing to the next. This modern world is just so fast.
Yeah, it is.
And so by these sharing these practices like Reiki and Yoga Nidra is just really helping us to slow down and
Mm,
to pause
mm,
and to sit with
mhm,
stuff, to sit
mm.
with what we've got going on, the happiness,
Exactly.
sadness, the gladness, the despair. It's all valid, it's all important. And I think, and
Yeah.
I've learned, especially through my journey, that the more you push down those uncomfortable feelings or emotions, the less helpful it is in the
Yeah.
future for you, because they do like
Mm.
manifest into like physical things going on in your body. For
Yeah.
me, it's my joints. For someone else, it might be something else.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, I guess you really touched a very deep and important point of, you know, thinking like going inside judgment on how you feel, right?
mm,
Like good, bad, or it should be this way, or it shouldn't be this way. It's a huge judgment, no? Like it's not honoring what's happening just for what it is,
no,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And I think we're guided by everything around us, aren't we?
Mm.
The people
Yeah.
the people that we're around, the belief systems that, our education, it all feeds into
Mm.
who we are. And that might not necessarily sit well with who we are
Mm.
deep down. And so
Exactly.
these practices, these ways of being are really just helping us to peel back those masks
Mm.
and those things that we're holding on to a little bit too tightly sometimes. Um, and just coming back to who we are here to be.
Yeah, our
Just
essence.
our essence, exactly that, our true selves with
Mm,
no masks,
mm,
you know.
yeah, how wonderful and yeah, I was lucky to like on this like I checked some links and then I remember you talking about your audios that are available also
Yeah.
on some meditation apps. I think it was
Yes. Insight
Insight
timer.
Timer. Yeah, exactly. And so I was really amazed by how, well, of course, your lovely voice is guiding through uh, in a very soft but also deep way. So it's not too, like the voice of someone can really make a difference. You can feel sometimes that maybe the person puts themselves and wants to perform something,
Yeah.
or you would feel really the person exactly like when we work on the Reiki, being just, a channel for the information. And I really felt that
Mm,
through your
yeah.
audios, and it really felt amazing on my body, and I was really rested, almost like if I slept probably a few hours,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So this is
That's it.
amazing.
It's so amazing. A 15-minute yoga nidra or 20 minutes can be said to be equivalent to 3 or 4 hours sleep.
There you go.
So the physical restoration that you get from practicing a yoga nidra, just as if you lie down for an afternoon.
Mm,
For me, I'm doing a little self Reiki practice and I'll
there you
listen
go.
to a yoga nidra, or because I can talk myself through one, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And it's like a supercharged nap. I mean,
Mm.
we can never underestimate having a nap in a day, I think. For me as a mum, it's just been invaluable.
Of course.
But I have been sharing yoga nidra. Lots of my friends have been joining me who are also parents, and it's just been
Mm,
such a supportive community that we've been
mm,
able to create through the practice of yoga nidra. It's been lovely.
mm,
And I think when you do get to practice it, I really recommend it. There's so many different places that you can listen, and I really, yeah, it's my one highlight. I think that
mm.
just really helps to settle the body along with Reiki as well. I mean, the two together,
Exactly.
they're very
Yeah.
similar in the way they work.
That's what I wanted to ask you as well. Do you feel any connections between Reiki and Yoga Nidra, and like in what ways maybe Yoga Nidra deepens your perspective on Reiki, or vice versa? Like how do you
Mm,
navigate between each
yeah,
other?
between the two, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a really good question. And like we've said, they're just both so similar in the way
Yeah.
they operate, in the way that they make you feel. I mean, I guess the fundamental one has to be that we're shifting the body through both Reiki and Yoga Nidra. The body's shifting into this parasympathetic nervous system. So it's really
Mm.
dropping into that rest and digest phase so that the body feels like it's completely relaxed and safe as well. Safety is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, so I think for me, that's like the the biggest one for both Reiki and Yoga Nidra.
Mm.
They're both so incredible at helping reduce stress and tension in
Mm.
the body, helping to calm the body and the mind, and to release tension from the body and mind as well. I both feel that they have a great place there.
Mm.
Um, and I've mentioned about regulating the nervous system,
Yeah.
also regulating our hormones as well, like all the systems of the body actually. I'm moving through perimenopause now at this stage
Mm.
of life, and I'm just finding it such a support to have both Reiki and Yoga Nidra as hormones shift and change. Coming
Mm.
back to these practices and ways of being is such a beautiful way to support ourselves through transitions in this way, whatever stage of life we find ourselves in,
Mm.
Um, that they're both really powerful but gentle in that way as well. Um, yeah, I think also the way that they're both taught as well, the way that we understand experiences of life, like we're inevitably collecting baggage along the way, aren't we? Opinions, whatever, this little voice on our shoulder, the critic. I
Mm.
have one here that's just likes to talk to me from time to time, but we collect so much, I guess, emotional and mental baggage along the way. And all of these experiences find themselves in the body. And I just feel that both through Reiki and Yoga Nidra, we can help to lift these experiences effortlessly from the
Mm.
body, to lift that stress, to lift that tension, and those emotional or mental attachments that we have can
Mm.
just be really easily lifted away.
Mm.
Um, And so I find that both of these practices and ways of being are really powerful to support that. I feel like, and I don't know how you feel having practiced Reiki for quite a while now, but my mental and emotional state is so much more balanced now than when before I learnt.
Mm.
And lots of people I share Reiki with are amazed. When you share a training and they leave and they're messaging you at the end of the week, they're like, I still feel really calm, Sarah. It's really amazing how that weekend of training has made me feel,
Mm.
because you're just shifting yourself into this place where your nervous system just like, oh,
Yeah,
and it's just like a big sigh. Um,
exactly.
so yeah, I think there's so many similarities between the two. I don't know if I've really answered your question.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
I
definitely
hope I
did.
have.
No, because I really find it so interesting how mm, using a different technique you can get to this deep relaxation state where actually the body can start to restore itself
Yeah,
finally, because as you said, this is probably the only moments that we allow our body and our mind to fully rest, as you said.
exhale, yeah, and
Yeah,
just mm,
yeah. So
yeah.
wonderful.
And I think, after these practices, so
Mm.
many people feel say they feel lighter and brighter as
Mm.
well. Like something's just been lifted off them. So, we're saying we carry all this baggage around with us because
Mm.
we've just been collecting it over the years and storing it away. And then when they have a Reiki treatment and they feel that lightness and that brightness and that sense of calm throughout. And it's the same for Yoga Nidra. We're
Mm.
moving through these different activities for the brain that's just enabling stuff to just go. And people are amazed at how light they can feel after a practice of Yoga Nidra or after a
A
Reiki treatment,
treatment. Mm. Yeah.
because yeah, it's just helping the body to just let go
Mm.
and release its grasp of what it's been holding on to for so long. which we all have a tendency to do.
Yeah, we're quite good at it.
Oh, we're good at it. We're really good. I
We're
think
good at it, and we're kind of pushed to do it as well, if you think about it.
that's it. And I think like in this modern way of living as well, we're being pushed from pillar to post from so many things are fighting for our attention, aren't they?
Mm.
It's just non-stop digital
Yeah.
alerts coming up and work to a family life to, we don't have a village around us like we used to in the olden days. And I just feel like people, through my work, if I can help them find a way to pause and to
Mm.
slow down and to just be with how they are in that moment, is just such a gift.
It is.
I find that it's quite a release for people. It can be quite emotional because they haven't stopped and paused and actually felt how their body is feeling. Actually asking your body,
Yeah.
how am I feeling today? How are
Mm.
you doing today? It,
Allow that space, just that space already. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it's really powerful. I
Mm.
love it. I love sharing the work that I do. I'm so
Mm.
passionate about it.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it stems obviously from my personal experience, but from sharing it with so many other people and watching and witnessing how they've moved through and journeyed through with these practices as well. It's really
Mm.
beautiful.
It is, and it's wonderful. You really we can feel that also through your posts on social media, and that's also why I said I have the feeling to know you. Uh, it genuinely shines through the
Yeah.
pictures you share, the thoughts you share, and yeah, it's really really wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I find social media so hard, but
Well, you're good at it.
am I? Oh, that's good. I think, yeah, it's so many of us do, I think, in this line of work, don't they? Because it kind of, for me, it pulls me away from
Yeah.
how I think we ought to like live our lives in the now and in nature. And then I just feel like this real difficulty and challenge with sharing things on a screen and
Mm.
asking people to read my things on a screen or things that we share when really real life is happening here,
Yeah.
people. It's
Of
very
course.
hard.
Of course, but as everyone is using this kind of, social medias, I find it very, very powerful to share something that is on point, like
Mm.
close to nature, something that a reminder to come back to
Yeah.
yourself. So I think that's what you do. Or that's what I feel when I look
Thank
at your pictures. So
thank you. Likewise.
thanks. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, I think this is the difference between being on social media. What's your message? Like, what do you share with others?
Mm.
And you know, do doing the scrolling and arriving in like on a photo of nature will probably remind you, yeah, that's right. Maybe I need to have a walk, or I think it's also a good reminder this
It
way.
is.
Hmm.
It is. Yeah. I think I think having children is for me is like a wake up call in terms of our
Oh, yeah.
social media and seeing them, on phones and yeah, I'm like, no, let's go play. Let's go do something outside. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting conundrum, isn't it? The life today. But
Mm.
slowing down is yeah, definitely the way forward, I think, just to help
Yeah.
our bodies and our minds.
To come back to ourselves.
Mm, absolutely.
Mm. All
Mm.
right. All right, Sarah, I have a last question for
Okay.
you.
Uh,
It's the question that I ask every guest on Reiki Banashi podcast, and you probably know it.
that's
If you had the opportunity to meet Mikao Usui Sensei today, what would you like to ask or say to him? Or maybe both.
mm. It's such a good question, and I've been thinking about this. What would I say to him if I saw him? And I think I would simply love to be in his presence. I would just think, I'd just love to sit with him and just be around him and simply hear him talk and share his wisdom and guidance on many areas. I just I would love that. But especially, and I think we've kind of touched on it a little bit already, but I'd especially like to hear his thoughts on like how we're living now in our modern world and with the constant digital noise and like global unrest everywhere, this incredibly fast-paced lifestyle, people contending with really high levels of stress
Mm.
uh, around, and how can we bring better balance into our life in a world that's constantly vying for attention and sharing a lot of unrest, if you like, via news, etc. And I mean, we probably know his answer, coming back to everything that we've learned through Reiki, but I'd really love to hear him talk on this because, 100 years ago was a different world, wasn't it? A different place. And
Mm.
things have changed so much.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear what his recommendations would be for the
Mm.
general public, for all of us. How can we bring better balance in and look after ourselves?
Mm. Oh, that's a wonderful question. It's true because of course he lived in the, like late 1800 to early 1920s. So of course uh, times were different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really wonder how he would manage also this kind of,
Yeah.
rhythm. Mm.
The rhythms and the pace is so very different, isn't it? Mm, yes.
Let's ask him.
He
we
says and see
we
what
may
divine
receive a
guidance comes down.
exactly. We may receive some answer in a dream or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And for
Yeah.
me, I'll just continue practicing the things that and sharing the things that I think will help people
Mm,
right now.
exactly.
So,
Exactly. I guess that's also one of the answers, right?
yeah,
So keep
absolutely.
practicing
Practicing
and
and
sharing the gift of, yeah.
sharing, living by the Gokai,
Mm.
incorporating that as much as possible, just doing all the things that we know we need to do to not allow ourselves to be too stressed, I guess.
Exactly. Wonderful. Wonderful, Sarah. We're arriving slowly at the end of our episode. Yeah, is there anything we haven't touched on that you feel called to share with us before we close?
Before we close, no, I don't think so. I'm just grateful that you've asked me to share my story, and I hope it inspires or maybe motivates somebody to try Reiki,
Mm,
especially if they're moving through any health issues, to know that things change, things can change and evolve, and
mm.
to trust in your body. I think that's my message: is to trust in your body, trust in your home,
Ah.
and yeah, I think that's my message really.
Thank you so much. This is such a beautiful message. And also, yeah, through your story, seeing your healing journey from such pain and almost like no solution, like being helpless, and then finding you walking on the beach of Eres at
Climbing
6:30
mountains.
in the morning, being
Yeah,
so
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
I find
Dragging
this
everybody out with me.
exactly. No, that's such a wonderful healing journey, and I'm so grateful you shared that with
Oh,
us
thank you for
today.
asking me. Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, before we say goodbye, if people want to reach out to you or find you, what's the best way to do so?
Oh,
Tell me.
okay.
Mhm.
So I have a website, and my business name is Connect to Calm, all in words. So connecttocalm.co.uk.
Mhm.
And I'm also on Facebook and also Instagram too, the usual social media outlets. Connect to Calm with Sara Johnson on Facebook. I need to get them the same probably, and Connect to Calm also on Instagram. But I
Could
am the
be.
same, kind of the same.
I'll anyway put all the links,
Anyway, it falls down below.
Also, the link on the Yoga Nidra
Oh
on the app, like
yeah,
if you
I've got a
can.
couple. And
Exactly.
people are asking me to put more on there, so I have got so many. I used to have a shop online through the pandemic
Oh.
on Shopify where people could purchase some nidras, but I closed that. It was just, yeah, it's quite expensive to run. But
Mm.
I'm trying to find different ways to put nidras out there for people so they can listen to them in the home.
Mm.
So watch this space.
Yes,
I
watch
have
this
to next year.
space. I'll repost as soon as you will have
Yeah.
anything. Yeah,
Oh,
because I really felt important benefits during the
no.
practice with your lovely voice. So I
Oh,
will put that down below.
that's
All
amazing.
right. All right, Sarah, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. And yeah, I really enjoyed every moment so much. It's
Thank
always
you.
lovely to see you maybe in person or online.
Yeah.
And yeah, I find it also amazing when we can share Reiki uh, in a like on how Reiki is on a daily basis for us in our family, almost like a homemade
Yeah.
remedy. So
Yeah.
this is also something that I'm happy we touched
Oh, me
in
too.
this
Me
conversation.
too. I'm so passionate about trying to get Reiki into as many homes as
Mm,
possible with families, mothers, fathers, caregivers. It's a real passion
exactly.
of mine. So, if anyone's listening to this and is intrigued about trying Reiki, do it. Bring it
Yes,
into the home because it really does make such a difference,
exactly.
particularly and like for big emotions for children as well.
Yeah,
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 that's a whole new topic, but yeah, it's really
exactly.
supportive.
Yeah, yeah, really to not stay in this like mindset of okay, Reiki is only for clients or for students, but really like make it like break the barriers and just like, make it
Oh,
natural and
yeah,
reachable for
everyday living. Yeah.
every day. Exactly. So
Mm.
thank you for
Thank you.
reminding us that today.
Thank you, Annina, so
Okay.
much for having me. It's been such a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much. And we'll meet again soon. We
I
just
hope
don't
so.
know where in the
Don't know
world
where
this
or
time.
when. No, I know. I hope so. Oh,
Thank you so much
thank
again. And
you.
ありがとうございました。ありが
arigatou gozaimashita.
とう。
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. And again, thank you so much to Sarah. If you'd like to keep exploring these topics with me, you can find me on Instagram or on my website. And if you want to dive deeper or learn more, all the links are in the show notes. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to share my podcast with someone you think might be interested. Your support and your time means so much to me. I'll see you very soon for another episode, and in the meantime, take care. ありがとうございました。